So I says, yo, haha, it's all in the words.
Hey, what's up, what's up, what's up, what's up, what's up? Alright, first of all, I want to start off by giving a shout out to this channel right here, Accountable Commentary. This young man here, he created this channel 2015, and the content that he has posted, he's showing, he's telling, he's warning melanated men to be careful with these melanated women. Men have a tendency to lash out on the next person that they come involved with. You know what I'm saying? We all do it. But the way that men do it, it's like, you know what I'm saying? We take it differently than women do. You know, it's like for every man that was raised up without both parents, their outlook on life, you know, is of betrayal. Because the things that we need to be taught to be the best men that we can be need to come from both perspectives of our mothers and our fathers in a united effort for us to be, I'm saying it again, for us to be the best men that we can be. We need morals and ethics and principles. Alright? And so on this channel right here, you're gonna see different ways and different examples of what happens to our people when we're not treating each other well, and when we're not treating ourselves right. So I'll get back over to my channel real quick. I'm all about growth. Alright? And when I was on my homepage, I saw this video from Accountable Commentary. Hold on, let me get back to it. The name of the video is called Content Creators Said My Channel Is Too Raw for YouTube, and let me explain why. He tried to warn melanated men a long time ago when he first started his page that they need to be cautious of melanated women. I want you to watch his video, and I want you to understand it the best way that you can understand it and form your own opinion about what he's saying. Right? But my response to him and to this video was, folks are not willing to give up the things that they're comfortable with. Folks don't want to unlearn the bullshit that they learned through the years. Slavery and the crack epidemic tore us up, but we don't get a pass. We had mentors and revolutionary-minded people who tried to get us to recognize and use our inner strengths. I doubt YouTube will allow people like you and I to really reach our people on this platform And I wanted to let him know that, you know what I'm saying, I'm giving him and his channel a shout out. Now, I'm all about growth. I think we all need to be the best people that we can be. I think parents should give their children all the tools that they could possibly give them. And in order for a parent to do that, they have to know who they are individually. They need to know who they are as a team. Because that child is going to be born with 3 levels of consciousness. They're going to have their mother's traits, they're going to have their father's traits, and they're going to have their own individual traits. Now, the 3 of those combined are going to create the personality that that child is going to grow up having. Some kids take a lot from, they take they take a lot of traits from their dad instead of their mom. Some take traits from their mom instead of their dad. A lot of times when parents are raising their kids, it's like they see a part of them inside of their kid. You know what I'm saying? Or a part of, you know what I'm saying, the mother of their partner, you know, that helped bring this kid into this world. You know what I mean? But most definitely, they see the things that they don't like, and they try to root that shit out of the kid, so the kid can grow up and be fed all the right things spiritually, intellectually, mentally. You know what I'm saying? Well, intellectually and mentally, pretty much the same thing, right? Last night, they had the Tyson Fury and Francis Ngannou fight, right? Now, for everybody that was there, they paid a lot of money for them tickets. And this is what pisses me off. This is what pisses me off about society. You'll take the money to buy whatever it is that's going to make you comfortable in life, but you won't take that money and help out your neighbor, help out somebody who really need it. Our country can send billions over to other countries to help with whatever problems that they have, but they won't take those billions and fix the issues that we have here in our own country. Something is wrong with Americans. Now, I was watching a video on Netflix about planet Earth and, you know, how it's evolved throughout the years. And what pisses me off about it is that I need facts. I need facts. Don't tell me that this certain type of dinosaur existed or this single cell organism existed if you don't have facts. Now, they can sit back and try to ramble through the video, you know, the documentary or whatever, the special, whatever you want to call it, and just, you know, present all this talk about what existed during which timeline. This particular video talked about, you know, the catastrophic events that cause certain extinctions on this planet, and it talked about how at one point in time this planet was 90% water and 10% land, and on the land was basic volcanic activity. Alright, so I'm sitting there, I'm like, okay, you could say that But where's the facts that really proves that that's what happened? Where's the facts? Did you find it in the layer of soil samples? You know what I'm saying? So, when I watch this shit, I'm questioning the shit that I'm looking at. Because I don't want to be a fucking idiot in front of the idiot box. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be the person that just takes whatever they're saying at a grain of salt. Or I don't want to just watch something and let them shove some bullshit into my mind. I understand that it could be entertaining, but on the most part, they're trying to tell me what happened on this planet, and they wasn't there. So show me evidence and show me proof. I was watching this show on Disney. It's a series called Miss Marvel, and it is a family. I think they're Indian or Pakistani or something like that, and it's cool that they put a brown face, in a heroic role. But on the first episode, the female who's the star of the show, they got her character lying to her parents, sneaking out the house, trying to blend in with kids at school, you know what I'm saying, lying to her friends, lying to herself, you know what I'm saying, and it's like, basically, if that kid was to look at themselves in the mirror, they'll see a fucking lie. Alright, so for me looking at this, I'm like, they want other kids to watch this show and do what? Get some type of inspiration? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, they're showing all the wrong shit. You know what I'm saying? They're showing how kids should not act like. You know what I'm saying? It's like, the way that this kid is acting, we don't want our kids to act like that. You know what I'm saying? And this kid is supposed to be like 16. She's getting her driver's permit or trying to get her driver's license or driver's permit or whatever the fuck. But yet she can't be trusted. And we're seeing why she can't be trusted. You know what I'm saying? She has the luxuries of having her own bedroom, decorated the way she wanted to be decorated. You know what I'm saying? But yet she can't be honest with her parents. And I'm looking at this shit and I'm like, there are so many other kids in that position doing the same bullshit. But for the people in the entertainment business, this is what they want our kids to look at. And I call bullshit. I hate that shit. Alright, so when I talk about growth, I'm talking that, usually when we learn something and it's locked in and it's something that we want to learn, we don't let that go to waste. It's like with me being a content creator. When I learned how to use the editing software, I learned how to use it so that way if I wanted to teach somebody, I could teach them. You know what I'm saying? And that's the way I think a lot of us are. I think that's what a lot of us do. When we learn something, we learn it to where we know it enough to where if anybody asked us anything about it, we'd be able to teach them something. It's like somebody learning how to cook spaghetti. You know what I'm saying? When you learn how to cook spaghetti, you learn how to make it tastes good to yourself. And then when it tastes good to yourself, you want to share it with somebody else. You're like, I made some damn good spaghetti. Hey, yo, come check out the spaghetti I made. Then they ask, ooh, what did you do? And that person can tell them, I did this, I did this, I did this. So that's the example that I'm talking about. Alright, so about me being a content creator, I also know that there's a responsibility to putting out content that's going to help people instead of hurting people. And with this channel right here, it's all about growth and helping people. I know that I don't take life seriously all the time. I like the bullshit. And I like to lie to myself too. So, with that being said, I'm only human, but I'm recognizing the type of human that I am. And I'm trying to make the choices that I need to make for me to be the best human that I can be, to be the best man that I can be. Now, as far as this video from accountable commentary, it's like, yo, a lot of people don't want to hear the truth. They don't want to hear facts. They don't want to hear the things that's going to stop them from enjoying life. Everyone that's in my tax bracket, we go and we grocery shop at the same places. So the same type of food that I am forced to buy at Super Walmart is the same shit that my neighbor is forced to buy at Super Walmart. Okay? Now you take somebody who's in a higher tax bracket than me, they grocery shop at a different place. And the foods that they're buying are completely different from the foods that I'm buying. Why is it that we as minorities, why aren't we taught and why aren't we being pushed in the direction of growing our own food? Why aren't we being pushed in the direction of creating our own farms, period? And then when I think about that even more, I think about the laziness of the people who enjoy the comforts of just going to a fucking grocery store or allowing somebody else to do all the heavy work, you know what I'm saying, to bring the food to the table. So when I think about our society, I'm like, man, I'm pretty upset knowing that we got a lot of lazy people here. We got a lot of people who don't want to put in the work to be healthy, to be intelligent. You know, each one should teach one or teach somebody else. You know, I often think about in a 2-block radius in your neighborhood, you probably got 2 or 3 doctors, 2 or 3 nurses, 2 or 3 mechanics. You know what I'm saying? People with certain traits and skills that they're just born with. You know what I'm saying? They just got natural skills. It's like you got people who play basketball, but one person has more natural abilities than the other person. They're athletic, you know, more athletic than the other person. It's just the way it is. And it's the way, like when parents try to force their kids to be one way or another. Well, a kid or a person, anybody, is going to resist somebody trying to force them to do something. That's something that we're naturally, you know what I'm saying, that's in our DNA. we naturally, push back. So it's like, if a parent is teaching their kid to be mathematicians, but their kid like to fish, that kid is not going to give a fuck about fucking math. They're going to be drawn to anything involved around fishing. So it's hard for kids to fucking be brought up in this world. I remember when I was a kid, it got to a point where I hated going to school because school had nothing to offer me. I wanted to be a cook, and there wasn't shit that I was learning in economics. Well, I learned, some things, the price of cost and demand, different things like that. But science, it wasn't nothing for me to learn there. Mathematics, yeah, because when it comes down to, inventory and buying in bulk versus buying, can by can, that helps out in cooking. But when it came down to, like history, the fuck I needed to learn from there? How could I learn from that shit? With nothing to learn. So anyway, the whole point of this video is to bring your attention to the fact that the distractions in this world are really fucking us up. We can't use slavery as an excuse to be sorry ass people. We can't use the crack epidemic as an excuse to have sorry ass kids doing nothing in life. The point of it all is for us to be the best people that we can be and help the next person. And the reason why I talk about slavery or talk about crack epidemic is because those are the two points in history that really, really changed the melanated person. It really did. And it was all over money. Slavery. If you really, really, really check some good records, you'll see that some African kings sold a lot of people into slavery. Alright? You find out that out of all the races that was out there, Africans we could work in different conditions without it fucking with us the way it would fuck with the Irish or the Italian or some of the other people that were considered lower class, in each, ethnicity. Alright? So, if that's not making sense, question what I'm saying and do your research on that shit. I'm not going to say it completely correctly. I'm not going to say it completely. It's not going to be correct the way I'm saying it. And it's not going to be complete the way that I'm saying it. That's why I need you to go and do your own research. But what I'm saying will lead you to some facts and to some points in this timeline where you will see that we as a people, we fucked each other over, and we're still doing it today. When they say there's nothing new under the sun, that's real as real. I mean, come on now. Where's the original ideas at? They've all been used up, basically. You got people that are spending money doing research in the sea, doing research in space, doing research in the jungle, doing research for this type of insect, doing research on that type of mammal. We're pouring all this money into all these different researches, but here in our own neighborhoods, we're having problems. We are not given incentives to the people who really need it the most. You got folks dying in Chicago left and right. You got people, wherever you find poverty, you got people dying left and right. And it's like, what's the answer? What's the answer? The answer is give somebody the opportunity to be a better person, and they just might change the way that they think about life. If you take somebody who says, all I want to do is gangbang, then you find out why that's so important to them. And when you find the root of the problem, then you give them a route. You give them a direction to get away from there. If they say, I gangbang because my mom and daddy abused me as a kid, it's like, well, you're fucking 17. You don't live with your parents. So what other excuse do you have? Well, I don't have the means to make legitimate money to get up out the hood, because the more, or for as long as I live in this neighborhood, I'm going to end up being around the same people, doing the same shit. Well, get your ass out the hood, come with me, and I can show you how you can make some legit money. I can show you how you can live a legit life. I can show you the people that you need to talk to in order to get these memories. You know, you can get these memories in check. Get your heart, your spirit, and your mind. You can get all that shit in check. You can be a better person one way or another. And if you really want that, you got to understand it's going to take hard work. It's not going to happen overnight. You're going to miss the luxuries that you had. You're going to miss the comforts of being lazy. You're going to miss all that. I remember there was a point in my life where I was like, man, instead of living the life that I lived as a kid, I wanted to go into a fucking monastery and live around some monks. I was like, I couldn't get no pussy anyway, because, you know what I'm saying, I was like, yo, I'm not in a position to get no pussy, because, you know, the females that I was wanting to get pussy from was like females who wanted to be around ballers, dudes with money, dudes with clothes, you know what I'm saying, style, swag. And I was like, man, it's not me. So, you know what I'm saying, I already know I ain't gonna get no pussy, you know what I mean? So why don't I just dedicate my life to something harmonic, you know what I mean? And I was just like, damn, that's where my mind was at. I was like, shit, I need to get away from this current situation, and I can either go this direction or I can go this direction. The direction of getting pussy would have led me down a direction of selling drugs, stealing, killing. Alright? Or I could have went another direction, and that would have been like, okay, I might as well, you know, go into this monastery and practice on freeing my mind, getting away from these earthly what do you call it, desires. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, it was crazy. But that's where my mind was. Because I was like, you know, fuck, man, I gotta get away. But anyway, what was that song? Something special in the air. I gotta get away. I'm not happy here. All I wanna know is, can I get away? Who was that? Tupac? I think that was Tupac. Yeah. When that song came out, I was like, man, that shit hit my spirit, and I was just like, man, I am not happy here. You know what I'm saying? I am not happy. And to be a young man and to not be happy, you know what I'm saying? It's just like I can't cry, not because, of a manly thing, but it's like, man, I don't have the strength to draw tears. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather go punch something. I'd rather, take my frustrations out and my anger out on something or somebody, but I can't cry. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't cry. I couldn't just smoke my weed and really get a good tear, you know what I'm saying, the flow. I just couldn't. But I wanted to so fucking bad. And I didn't have no mentors. I didn't have anybody that could show me how to extinguish that feeling. I didn't have none of that. And I was mad. But I wasn't hopeless. Because I ended up going to Job Corps. You know what I'm saying? I made a choice to get my own escape. And for my peers, I had somebody in my life that was like, why would you want to run away from your problems? And I looked at him, I was like, why wouldn't I want to run away from my problems? Because I don't want to have no problems. The fuck? I was like, man, this is a dude that I was calling like my best friend. And here it is, he's slumming it, or we, my bad, was slumming it in these apartments that were damn near abandoned. You know what I'm saying? They had more units that was under construction than there was, with people living in them. And here we are sleeping in these abandoned units, or these units that was under construction. You know what I'm saying? And being lazy and huffing. And if you don't know what huffing is, it's like inhaling fumes to get high. So we put carbo booster. We'll put that on a sock or a towel or something like that, and inhale the fumes. You know what I'm saying? Butane. We was inhaling the fumes from butane. Shit like that.